Director of Communications. Say hello to Nate, everybody. Yeah.
I'm a singer, so I should know that the mic
Now,
has to be on
Nate,
in order for it to be.
Nate, you're in church. You have to be truthful. You're not a singer. What are you? You're an opera singer.
Well,
If
that's...
You didn't hear Nate sing a couple months ago. You know, it was really fantastic. You spent some time in New York pursuing that as a career?
I did, yeah. That was in my heart coming out of undergrad, and went there, got a master's in voice, and stayed there in New York for quite a while, several years, and did what I could to make a career out of it. But I made a transition about 10 years ago into public relations and communications, and started at a firm in New York, spent 5 years there, and then my wife and I had our first child. She's from Pittsburgh, and guess what? Came back home.
Yeah, and she got you a terrible towel as a wedding present. I understand. So tell us a little bit about what you're doing now. How's it been going? 6 months now? How long have you been on staff?
Yeah, it's since last June. So
Okay.
what's really exciting is that we've never had like a formal communications function here.
Right.
So when you start from the ground up, you spend a certain amount of time getting to know people and taking a step back and learning what's being done already, what the gaps are, and everything like that. And then late in the fall, we slowly started to identify where the key emphasis was going to be on, and started to build a team with that. So we're getting momentum, and then obviously, as Pastor Rock shared a week ago, this is really going to be a year of expanded influence, a year that we're going to emphasize what the vision and strategy is for that. And so what is as you're brought back in and you are here on staff for several years, you have great relationships with many people here, your heart, you're a member of this congregation. Where's your heart at with the role that you have, and where's your head at in terms of what we need to do?
Yeah, many people have asked me where my head is at, but and others say they can't miss it. But anyway, I go back to 2001, and Nate have done a lot of traveling. I've seen a lot of congregations, and there's a uniqueness about ACAC. I have said to some people, we are the right people in the right place at the right time to say some things to our culture and society that really need to be said. Now, you say that back in 2001. Even the events of the last few days let us know that we have a message. I've based my whole adult life on the gospel is the only answer for reconciliation. It is the only answer for the ills of the world. And if we can barely make it with the gospel, I mean, there's no hope for those without it. So what I see myself doing is building a body of information, of discussions that we can't do face-to-face. I mean, we have 52 Sundays, we have 65-minute service. We can't talk about all of why we're doing, what we're doing it, get into the nitty-gritty of it, engage people in dialogue. I think this church, you try special meetings, things like that, but we're going to have to do a better job. And so I really want to provide you and your team with some really relevant material, whether it's video, audio, written, face-to-face, whatever, that we can strategically place, and we're going to have to count on our folks are a part of this unique people that we are. And when I say unique, I don't mean better. It's just different. There are aspects of who we are as a people that are different. And as Pastor Rock explained last week, God may want to share that with other people. He does want to share it with other people, and we want to give them windows into who we are, who God has made us to be. So that's sort of how I see my role. And so I'll be kicking around and asking questions and trying to put things out there for people to engage with, relate to, and being better informed about who we are and why we are doing what it is that we're doing, and later on what we're doing and how we're going to do it.
Right, and I think the biggest thing is why. A lot of times you get a ton of stuff. I don't know if you're like me, but it feels like at the end of a week you're like, I don't even know what all the information that somebody's pushed at me all the time. Right. And so we want to be conscientious that what we put out there for you guys to engage with and create a dialogue with is relevant to you. That right off the bat, if you're not understanding why and the vision behind where Rock is leading us as a congregation, then I encourage you, be a part of what's on social media. engage with us. Send me questions. If you're questions that we are not answering, that you want answers to, lob an email my way. I don't mind. And we're also going to do traditional print. There's a time and a place for that as well. It's not always on social media or on your smartphone. Not everybody has that. And that's okay. So we're looking at finding a way to be a part of the weekend services, part of engaging on social media. We're putting a website together, which will be a great centralized repository, a place to go where if, there was a podcast, or no, there was a video. Oh, I want to go and read about this. We'll put it all there in an organized fashion, and you can start to engage with that in the first week of February. So we're hard at work as a team putting that together as a priority. And I don't know what else.
Yeah, Nate, I want to say, while we're going to do everything we can to make everything as accessible as possible, if you miss your favorite TV show, you can't write them and say, well, can you send me the script? Because I missed it, can you read it? We're asking you to make every effort to engage us beyond the face-to-face, beyond the normal ways that we have communicated. And we have been very heavily dependent on the face-to-face, on the printed material. There's a whole new world out there. And we promise we're going to make it as user-friendly as possible. We're going to make it as accessible, as intuitive as we can. But we need you. We're asking you to engage us at more than one level. Don't just rely. Also, studies show, and I don't know what your worship patterns are, but because of work, because of Sunday not being the day it used to be, people don't come every week. And so there's going to be things happening. And in the past, you can assume, well, we talked about that last week, but then people come who weren't there. So we need you to almost see it as doing a little bit of homework. And if you have trouble or can't access some of the media that we'll be using, there's somebody in your world who can, a child, a grandchild, a neighbor, somebody, and we just ask you to step up, and we want you to be, there used to be a phrase, fully informed, fully involved. We need that to happen. Not because we're trying to make anything happen, because we are a people. And we want to be on the same page and moving in the same direction. So we're going to be as deliberate as we can. As Nate said, we're going to make it as dialogue friendly. If anybody's worked with me, you know if you write me or you put something on Facebook, I'll get back to you. You will hear from me. And I know that's the commitment of our communications department. So we've got a lot of work to do, but it is so exciting. And as I said, in this day, if you don't see the need for what it is that we are doing and the Church of Jesus Christ is doing and should be doing, there's never been a better day to serve the Lord. I welcome this day. I welcome this opportunity to showcase who God's people are ideally. We always fall short. Who we are ideally, what Jesus has asked us to do and be, and juxtapose that to every other philosophy that's out there. And God will use it. And again, I'm going to talk about that a little bit later in the message. We're not talking about building the church. We're talking about influencing people's lives. And that may be in this region. It may be to the ends of the earth. And I think we as a people have that capability and that power, Nate, to impact people far away from. When I travel to Africa or England, wherever I go, I talk about ACAC. People talk about ACAC like they know you, like they know us. They don't. They know you through me. And so we want to do that in as many media and as many venues as possible. I'm really looking forward to working with you, Nate.
It's going to be a great ride, and it is an awesome opportunity. It's a privilege that I have to have joined ACAC to see the commitment and the beautiful unity that God has brought people together. We have something really special here. I think you probably saw a few weeks ago I had a videographer coming around, taking some B-roll and so forth, and there was a trip he made and came in and got me in the lobby over in Union Place. He's like, this place is growing on me. He goes over the children's ministry. He sees authentic things. He comes here. He feels and knows God's love. This is a really unique place, and we're excited to communicate that, to bring you into conversations, to know where the future is headed for this church, for the for the beautiful opportunity that we have right now that
Yeah.
we're pivoting on.
The window is open, and we have an opportunity, and we want to make the most of it. So, Nate, look forward to it, brother. Absolutely. Stay tuned.
Thank you,
More coming.
everybody.